Welcome back to the Jay Davis Show. I know it's kind of early, but oh well. Hey everybody, you doing? Diesel's in the building.
What's up?
Sherelle.
What's up?
A special guest, Roy Wood Jr. How you feeling, bro?
Man, thank you for having me.
Hey, thank you for
I
flying
appreciate
back
this.
and forth to Chicago.
No, right?
Dude, it's these are problems we prayed about, so I ain't gonna complain. But yeah, it's been a interesting 48 hours.
That's what's up, man. Man, but I just welcome to the show. Comedy Central's on the Daily Show. Welcome. Thank you. You
Can I cuss?
you can say whatever the hell you
I
want.
just want to make sure I don't break no rules.
Ain't no rules being broken.
Mess up your license. You got
Right.
these official microphones. You
Right.
got official mics and mic stands. You got a mixed board and everything. This is one of them. Maybe it's one of them can't cuss situations.
right. Nah, you
Now
can.
you set this up with like an iPhone.
Right.
You
Just
be
like
doing
this.
some folks shows. They be like, "Hey brother, you see man."
yeah.
I be like, "Man, I'm gonna cuss my ass off. You got an iPhone." I do
Now you
what
just had to check. But man, I just realized, like, man, you've been talking since like 2010. I remember I first heard you on the Foxhole when I first started
Oh,
writing.
whew, them the good old days.
Yeah, the Foxhole, and then I just reached out to you, sent you a few sketches or whatever, and we've been talking here and there. But man, FAMU graduate,
Yeah.
broadcasting, that was your first love?
Yeah, you know what it was? It was Stuart Scott, man.
Mm-hmm.
Stuart Scott. Like I come from a broadcast family.
Okay.
Like my pops was held back in the day. My pops was Chicago WVON. He was one of the
yeah.
Really?
first news directors when that station first signed on.
That's what's up.
And I had a couple brothers that's been on the production side and all of that. I wanted no part. I wanted to be a firefighter. Like in high school, I was like, man, let me go on run
You
up in
just
this
want to
smoke
die.
area. Yeah, I'm an adrenaline. I like pyro. I like burning stuff. I'm even to this day, I'm still an adrenaline junkie. But I saw Stuart Scott one day in my senior year of high school, and it's just a black dude telling jokes and talking about sports at the same time, and talking the way I talk, but talking about sports. Like, this motherfucker talk the same way we talk at the lunch table.
Right.
Right.
You can get paid
Yeah.
to talk the same way we talk at the lunch table. My nigga, what major is this? So I can go to, and that's how I fell in love with journalism, and that's how the whole thing started. I saw him at the airport one year after the NBA Finals. He was covering the finals, and I saw him in line. This is how shady ESPN is. They had my man Stuart Scott flying Southwest.
Oh boy.
We was in line to drop off luggage. This is early in his career, whatever.
Sure.
And I just didn't say anything to him. Just didn't speak, didn't say it. Like, and that dude was like a legit inspiration for what I did. But I'm hesitant to talk to anybody I respect because I don't want to give you the chance to fuck up the image that I've built of you in my head.
Because then you don't want to be an asshole off the back.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and I had a close call with Samuel L. Jackson early on, and I was just like, okay, and no more speaking to heroes. I'm done with that. And he wasn't rude; he was just busy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I stepped to the brother. He got like a BlackBerry in his hand. He got a script in the other hand. He's stirring his coffee. He got an assistant talking to him. My goofy ass gonna walk up. I just want to let you know you're an inspiration, man. In your life and what you've done has inspired so many young black men. And he was cordial, but it wasn't the conversation. It wasn't the conversation that I had scripted in my head. Because you know you're going to go over there and be like, oh, Mr. Jackson, I just want to let you know your journey. And then he goes, what's your name, brother? And I go, I'm Roy Wood Jr. What are you doing in Memphis? I go, well, I'm performing at the Looney Bin Comedy Club if you want to come tonight with some of your co-stars. And then Samuel L. Jackson goes, yeah, I'm coming to the Looney Bin. And I'm bringing Bernie back as soon as we finish shooting, was it Soul Man or Soul Brother or whatever they did? And then after the show in Memphis, Samuel L. Jackson's going to come backstage and he's going to go, brother, that was so amazing. I'm going to bring you back to L.A. with me and give you a career. And that was what was in my head. But what happened was Samuel L. Jackson turning to me while stirring his coffee and just going, thank you, brother. Keep God first and just keep doing it. I was like, you motherfucker. I came over here and talked to you. You're supposed to take me to L.A. So after that, it was just, I learned just to, if it's somebody that I'm excited to be in the presence of, to just observe and respect and just keep it moving. Because I don't know what's going to happen.
You worked on Sullivan and Son. It's a great show, 2 seasons.
Yeah.
What was
We
it
got
like?
three,
working
man.
on
Give me my
You got
third
3?
season. We had
Yeah,
3 seasons, man. And you can't verify it because they won't put us on Netflix.
God damn.
Bitch ass TBS. But
What was it like working on that show?
that was a joy, man. My man Steve Byrne was basically the spearhead of that, and that was my first opportunity in scripted television. And and this is a story I don't think I've ever told it publicly, but I wasn't supposed to be on the show.
What black dude did they have instead of you?
You name it. Anybody in Hollywood. Dude, you audition for stuff in LA as a black person, everybody's there. You go to the audition, everybody is there. I remember going to an audition for the Cleveland show, and I saw 5 motherfuckers that was in movies that were currently in theaters. I'm like, the fuck are you doing here? I ain't had no credits. How you gonna come in here? That's why I like with the whole acting, like in film and all of that. I'm like, man, if I could get a solid TV role, that would be dope. But movies is so competitive and it's so insane that that's when I learned real fast, man, that the real opportunities you got to create for yourself. You got to write and produce. All that acting shit and being at somebody else's mercy, man, that's for the dogs, man. I'll do it, and it was a great opportunity. But I knew bigger picture.
Right.
You got to create, because I saw some of my heroes sitting right next to me. Hey, brother, where's the sign-in sheet? I'll tell you some names off air. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I'm like, motherfucker, you are a legend. I'm talking to Black Entertainment Hall of Famers, and we both sitting in the same room, and I got to pray against you. I'm praying to God against godfathers of Black Entertainment, hoping to get a role. So when I tell you everybody was there, everybody. And so, my man Steve Byrne, I did the audition, and I guess the producers weren't really feeling me, but Byrne was one of the executive producers. And so when you do the auditions, they make a little short sheet. It's like tryouts, like anything else. And so you're making a short sheet of the people you want to keep. And you give that sheet to the casting director. At the end of all the auditions, you give the casting director, here's the people who made the cut. These are the people we want to call back for the next round of auditions. Steve added my name to the list after he left the room. The producers, some of the other producers and network people had made their short list. They give it to Steve to pass off to the casting director, and he just wrote in Roy Wood Jr. And that's how I got the call back. And when I came back, I had my shit together and booked it. And so, that was a great education in, scripted acting, and little did I know then that would be something that it really is coming handy now with the Daily Show, because there is an element of performance to what we do. The material is real, the people we talk to are real, but you still want to add a little comedic sprinkling on it that they don't teach you in journalism school, because they go, oh, you play a fake journalist. No, you're doing
real journalism.
You're doing
You
journalism.
do research.
Yep.
Yeah, you research, you pre-interview, you set up the cameras, and the same rules of journalism apply in terms of talking to people and interviewing and trying to get answers and not letting people weasel their way out of questions.
Right.
And so that was, those 3 years were really fun. I really feel like we would have still been on the air, but, it's a lot of different fates. It's a lot of different moving parts that keep TV shows on the air.
Yep.
And it's a lot of shit that you just can't control. And so TBS, as it was told to me, the director at the time, he left to take a job, I think with Coca-Cola or the Braves or something like that. My man Steve Coonan, shout out to Steve Coonan. And so when he left, Michael Wright came in from Fox and took over the network. And the only way to explain it is kind of like, it's like when a new coach take over a team and he wants to bring in his personnel. So he had a different vision from Michael Wright had a different content vision for TBS, so we didn't fit that vision. And to his credit, most of the show, if you look at TBS now versus say 3 or 4 years ago, the only thing still on right now is Conan. And they're even talking about retooling that. There is a totally different vision, and to his credit, he basically came in and was like, all y'all get the fuck out, all y'all he didn't say it like that. But as a network, they systematically changed their comedic identity, and that's nothing you can control. We put out a good product that one person believed in, and the next person came in and go, no, we think we should do something like this. And so it is what it is. But, door closes, doors open.
Yeah. So what has been the most exciting moment of your career thus far?
I'll tell you two things I'm most proudest of is doing Def Jam and Letterman. Not in the same calendar year, but in the same 12-month stretch.
All right.
So how was that
I did
experience?
like the whitest show and the blackest show. Like that was exhilarating because those were both comedic institutions. Like a Letterman credit, that was like that for a black comic to be on Letterman. That's like some stamp of approval. That now the white club, now you can't pigeonhole me. Now you can't say that I'm too black for your club because fucking the whitest dude on TV said I'm cool.
Right.
So you gotta fuck with me.
Yeah,
so
he gave you the wristband.
Yeah. He got the white vouch wristband. So like that was fun. Def Jam was a whole nother planet, man. Like that was just, and I came in on the back end. Like I did that 07 one-off season with D.O.H. Like I never got on Def Jam back when it was Def Jam.
Right.
But still, I don't give a damn.
It's
like
Def Jam.
You was on there.
Right.
It's being on like that last Bulls team. That 6-1, I got the ring there. I was there. You can't argue that.
That's what's up.
I'm gonna stew on that because I might jump back in with a different answer, but I know that was probably the most exhilarating. Most embarrassing is probably a tie between my first TV credit was the Apollo, and I almost got booed.
You had to stay
What was the host
strong.
of that one? You was on
Rudy Rush.
Rudy Rush. Okay.
It's 2001. This is when they used to do comedy TKO,
Yeah.
where they separated the comedians from amateur night, which was the right thing to do.
Correct.
Because a comedian ain't gonna never be the singer.
You can't follow a gospel artist.
Not in a room full of black folks. Them jokes is cute, but baby, you didn't hit that note like she did. Man, I went out there, and they can just smell fear.
Yeah.
And I was a little scared. It's intimidating. It's the Apollo.
Yeah.
And it's TV. This is going to be on forever. If this had happened back in the Twitter days, they'd have memed the fuck out of my ass, bro. And you're supposed to do 3 minutes when you're on Apollo.
Yeah.
I did 2 minutes, 37 seconds. I still got the tape at the house. I heard a couple boos. I closed on my second joke. I was like, all right, I'm Roy with Jimmy.
Get that.
I just got a question. Was the lady with the Jerry curl still in the front row, and what was her reaction if she was?
She was straight face. Straight face.
So she was like this.
Not feeling your boy. And this is the thing about the Apollo is that they got that time to fill. I'm walking off the stage. Ben Hill, who's one of the EPs, he's off the side of the stage, and he's looking at me. He goes, "You still got time left. Go back out there."
I ain't about to go out there.
And I stayed off stage, and I can hear him mumbling like, "We're gonna be short 40 seconds. We gotta cover 40 seconds." You tell me you can't cover 40 fucking seconds?
Right. Tell Rudy to go back.
Rudy, take your ass out there and tell a 40-second joke so the show can end on time and not 40 seconds early. This ain't no big crisis.
Right.
If I'd have got booed, bitch, you'd have had to cover a minute and a half. So what is you talking about?
Right.
No, I'm not going back. Why would I look like saying good night and then going back out?
Hey, one more time. I got one more joke, y'all.
Off the stage. Get
Kill yourself, boy.
I mean, speaking of that, though, I know. Fast forward, you're not a correspondent for the Daily Show. Now, I also work on TV, and you're speaking of time and everything like that. What's the preparation that goes behind what you do as well as the whole show? We know you just touched on that a little bit.
Man, they got a well-oiled machine, man. Jon Stewart is the one that set up the workflow. Like, we pretty much just following the blueprint that he laid out before Trevor even came into the situation.
Oh, wow.
Because I came in with Trevor. I was never there under Jon Stewart's regime. You start with a blank sheet of paper at 9 o'clock in the morning. Team of writers and producers sit in a room. We chat it up and talk about what was funny, what happened yesterday, what's supposed to be happening today. You figure out what the best things are to joke about. Then you figure out what's the best way to convey the joke. Is it through a correspondent desk chat with Trevor, or is it just Trevor handling it solo? And is it a sketch? There's a lot of different ways we can figure it out. And then you bang out a script, and then you rehearse it, then you rewrite it, and then you shoot it in front of a live audience. So for the actual correspondent pieces, that's more of a 3-week timeline where in the field department, myself and the other correspondents and the field producers, we bounce off stories similar to the 9 o'clock meeting, but just on a longer timeline. So, hey, did you hear about this dude in Jersey that is a street named Dick Street? They trying to change the name. This is a real story. So, oh, that's funny. And so we start figuring out who the players are, what's the story, who are the players in the story, and what's our point of view and what's our angle of attack on the issue. And so you spend about a week plotting that out with the field producers, and you have meetings to figure out what your questions are, what do you want to ask your subjects, and then you go out and shoot that bitch. And then week 3, you come back and you edit, and you start putting together passes for the show producers to look at. So you'll get like an 8-minute rough cut, and then they kind of decide what to chop down. You try and chop it down to 4 or 5 minutes for air. And at any given time, as a correspondent, you're in a different part of the life cycle on multiple pieces. So you might spend half your day in edit looking at something you shot last week, and then go upstairs to have a meeting about the next thing you're about to go shoot. And then at night you're on a plane to go shoot something else that you had already planned. So it's always a constant,
Right.
game of hopscotch.
And I know, like, I've worked in TV for 14 years. I work in news. And so I know I've seen some crazy shit in the street. But what are some of the craziest things you've seen at being a correspondent? And, you're traveling and everything.
I saw Ron Jeremy's ball sack.
That was unexpected.
You can't forget it. That shit stuck in my head, bro. Like a horrible nightmare. Like when I close my eyes, I still see it. So we did this piece on discrimination in porn. There's hella racism in the porn industry.
Right.
So we go to a porn house to interview a couple of porn stars.
Right.
we interviewed Misty Stone and God, was it Mr. It wasn't Mr. Marcus. It might have been. Who's the one that's always chasing and fighting motherfuckers on
Brian
World Star?
Pumper.
Okay,
Like
it wasn't him.
Banks.
It wasn't him.
I don't
Then it
know.
was Mr. Marcus. You don't know. You know your porn.
I don't know.
You look like Misty Stone.
I don't even know. I'm just like,
So
let y'all have this moment.
the porn house, like for those that don't know, the porn industry, they rent houses. They rent like 5-6 bedroom houses in the hills. Like a porn, what's it called? Like a porn company, production company.
Right.
And they make a bunch of porns, shoot them all in the same house. Why are we paying for all this different studio space? They rent a 6-bedroom house, soundproof it out, and each room is an individual different genre of porn. So one room might be bondage, one room looks hood as fuck, one room is a patio, you got a pool. So we're out in the pool house shooting the interviews. There is active pornography being produced
They getting it cracking up
50
in
yards
there.
away. So we're shooting a sketch with a bunch of porn stars, and it's like 7 or 8. And at the end of the segment, you'll see it if you ever watch the segment. But at the end of the segment, we do this joke with like 7 or 8 porn stars and Ron Jeremy. And basically what it is, it's talking about how porn should be racially inclusive and how there shouldn't be discrimination in porn, and wouldn't it be cool to have a porn where it's people of all races taking part.
Right.
So it's women of all different nationalities, it's me, there's men, it's a bunch of people all different, and Ron Jeremy. Now what I didn't know is that Ron Jeremy is he's like a porn god. Like he's like in the porn industry, Ron Jeremy literally can just roll up to a porn set and just
start
pick a
fucking.
girl. Yeah,
Oh,
just
wow.
Oh,
let's go back
Get it
to
like that.
let's go back to one of the rooms real quick.
Right.
There's no scene. It's just Ron Jeremy want to fuck.
oh shit.
And you can't say no because it's fucking Ron Jeremy, and
Right.
he's a legend. And if you're a girl just starting out in the business, you don't want to piss off a legend. It's like if Jordan wanted to just fucking play a game of 21.
Right. He throw you the ball, you better go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you're a musician musician and Mick Jagger goes, hey man, you want to rock out on this song with me? It's fucking Mick Jagger. You can't say no.
Right.
So we're in the middle of shooting this shit, and Ron Jeremy is just every 15 minutes picking off a different girl and going in the back.
He can't help himself.
Our producer.
He can't help himself.
Yo, my field producer has to go up to Ron fucking Jeremy and go, Ron, if you could, we just need all the girls on set. If you could just stop. Sure. Yeah, no problem. Sure. So I say all of that to say, we're preparing for Ron Jeremy to come into the scene. Now, we're shooting 30 minutes of this sketch on the bed with the other porn stars before we need Ron Jeremy. We don't need Ron Jeremy yet.
Right.
For the shoot, we need him in just a shirt. It's a long t-shirt, right? That stops like halfway down his thigh to suggest that he's naked. Ron Jeremy take his pants off. Not you go, well, you need me with no pants on. Not yet, motherfucker. Nobody. It's not time to take your pants off. And so he's just walking around the set with with just a t-shirt on. And I don't know what was going on in the middle of his thigh. But it definitely wasn't a dick. And it definitely wasn't thigh meat. So the only thing left is ball. Like that's like I can confirm it wasn't thigh and it wasn't dick.
So he's walking around like this.
So it's either that or it was just I don't know, just like thigh fat meat that was poured. Like I don't know what it was.
Cool.
My homeboy said he had a wisdom dick coming in. And that's exactly what it looked like. It was that's easily there's nothing we've done at the Daily Show that even comes close to me seeing the bottom of Ron Jeremy's ball sack is the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen.
A quick story. I was at the AVN award, not the award, the convention.
Porn Oscars.
And I saw like Ron Jeremy was like in a chair, like a director's chair, sleep. And I'm like, I gotta put this on social media. And one of his handlers walked up like, hey man, Ron's not feeling well. I'm like, what the fuck you got him out here for then?
Yeah.
He's just like this in the chair. And I'm like, come on man, something wrong with Ron. Get him out of here.
They protect
He
him,
don't
man.
care.
That dude is a
He
legend,
do what he
man.
want to do. Did you just hear him say he was walking around, just slanging it?
Just walking around and just picking off girls.
Do you ever receive any backlash from the things that you discuss on the Daily Show?
I get called nigga once a week.
on Twitter.
You used to do.
Yeah, about once a week. And it doesn't get really past that. It just depends on the nature of the piece. If
Right.
it's something that really touches a nerve. We did a gun control piece down in Texas. And anytime you say anything that's remotely about gun control, the gun people come out and fuck you and freedom and constitutional quotes and darky this, darky that. But, thankfully, with this Muslim ban and Trump trying to build a wall, most of the racists got their attention focused on other races right now. So they ain't had a lot of time to throw hate at black folks no way. I kind of feel neglected as a race.
Hey, I'm still here, y'all.
Yeah, you gonna go over there and start hating on the Muslims. We've been doing it all this time.
Right.
All the good times we had. When we did, I'd say I probably got the most backlash. The piece that I've done on the Daily Show that got me the most backlash was the Black Trump video.
Oh, okay.
Where we took all of Donald Trump's tweets and just turned them into a rap song. Like I made 16 bars, we put it to a beat,
Oh snap!
and I rapped Trump's tweets to
You
prove
remember?
that Can you believe Ted Cruz has been killing the country? Line Ted Cruz used a picture of Melania. Careful line Ted, I spit the beans on your woman. I be watching Modern Family. It's written by morons. I never liked Bette Midler's persona. I got black guys counting my money. The only one who could beat Hillary. I'm not a Mitt Romney. Remember, I'm the only candidate who's self-funded. Make America great again. Fingers long and beautiful. Look at these hands. I win, I always win. Some people say I'm very, very, very intelligent. Mexico is not a friend. Build the wall. I love the Mexicans. Nobody has more respect for when men. Heidi Klum, sadly, no longer a 10. And that's all Trump tweets.
Right, he didn't make none of that up. That's
Didn't
all
make
he.
up a syllable of that. That's
Facts.
all
No.
his words.
No alternative facts. Straight facts.
Straight off of his Twitter feed.
Oh,
And when I
God.
tell you them motherfuckers was and this was pre-election when we did this. And oh my God, boy,
He
they
said the
was.
shit.
He said it out his own mouth.
Yeah, they did not like that one, man. But it comes with the territory. And I don't really get affected by people not liking me.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people not thinking
We
I'm
like
funny.
you.
No, but I mean, just in the biggest sense
I
of
know.
things, it's not something that's ever troubled me. Just, don't run up. Like, that's...
Gang, gang, gang.
Fake news.
Gang,
You get the
gang,
fake
gang.
I'm
news.
still West Birmingham. Like that. Don't let the suit and tie trick you. Like, especially because I'm a lot more paranoid because I'm in New York and, you got a white supremacist that just offed a black dude for no reason in the city in broad daylight, just stabbed the dude.
Yeah.
So I definitely keep my head on a swivel when I'm out. So I don't walk around thinking the world is rosy because I don't know who means me harm. I don't know how serious some people take
Right.
this stuff. And I've read the message boards of people that do not agree with the show. And it's some interesting characters in this country, man. But just that general, that wasn't funny, you lame, like that stuff is never. I don't even count that as hate. That's just the price of doing
People
business.
just being people.
Hell, NBC taught us that. Man, it was worse with NBC.
That's what I work with.
No, let me tell you something about your network. So when we did Last Comic Standing, I did it 2017. That was the first season of the show. Like, that was when live tweeting was just starting to become a thing with television and reality and stuff like that. And Twitter was finally catching on and all that. We had to live tweet, contractually, had to live tweet the Monday night episode. So every Monday night, you have to pull up the Last Comic Standing hashtag and interact with the viewers. And hey, things, Roy's my favorite. I'm going to vote for him. Make sure you vote for me. But mixed in with all them tweets is some of the most hateful, vile. So every comic, without fail, every comic that came on the screen, you would then see 10 minutes of tweets of people hating the fuck out of them.
Oh, wow.
And it would be love. It'd be love in it too. But imagine every Monday night at 10 o'clock Eastern having to read some of the most vile things ever said about you. And you have to sift through that shit to find the positive tweets to respond to. And you have to do that every Monday night at 10. Then guess what, bitch? You gotta do it again at 1 a.m. because the West Coast episode is airing. So you gotta do the East Coast and the West Coast live tweet. And you do that every week for fucking 2 months. I think I was on the show for 2 months.
Damn.
So that galvanized me. Like, I'm good. There's nothing you can say that's gonna make me sit in the corner and cry.
Right.
Because what you gonna do? You gonna get mad about this? There's nothing you can do
You
about
gonna
it.
tweet the person, right?
No, like I don't.
Twitter fingers.
That ain't never been my thing. Like when people, like I see a lot of different folks on Twitter, and you want to argue with people with 20 followers, man, you just getting your blood pressure up. You taking every tweet is like, to me, is like I call it 8 minutes off your life. Every tweet that you send when you arguing with somebody, that's some stress that you don't need on your heart. Somebody want to hate, let them hate, man.
Right.
And so, you're a big sports fan.
Yeah. Yes.
Who do you think over the years, who you think took the biggest media beat down between Michael Vick, Ray Lewis, Ray Rice, Colin Kaepernick? Who was villainized the most, you think?
Take Ray Lewis off the list because he didn't do his dirt during social media.
Right.
And that would have been different.
Yeah. White people still call him
And he bounced
a
back.
murderer, though, in the average bar.
Yeah, they call him a murderer, but ESPN employs him, and
Right.
black folks trust him as a trusted
Yeah.
ministry and whatever the fuck. So I don't think Ray Lewis, if there's anybody that bounced back fine, Ray Lewis good in the hood. Like there's nothing he can. There's no way he can go. There's nothing he can't do.
Right.
Michael Vick, on the other hand, to this day they hate him.
Yeah.
And for that reason, I would take Kaepernick off the list because Kaepernick already said that he would stand for the anthem. So that's going to be a bygones be bygones situation. Plus, he can slang a couple touchdowns and, you know, good play. Wins forgive all wounds or whatever. Michael Vick or Ray Rice? Whew. Whew.
Would you rather somebody punch your dog or punch you in the face?
You know what? I would say that Ray Rice has it worse because he didn't get a second chance.
No, not yet.
Michael Vick got a second chance,
Right.
and he played, and he was appreciative. He's an humble brother. There's a great piece that he wrote in the Players Tribune about returning to Atlanta to be honored in the last days of the Georgia Dome last season for the 2016 season. That should have bring you to tears. And he's open and honest about everything that happened before the dog stuff, during prison, after the dog stuff. Like, he talked about being in jail when the Falcons was in the playoffs. Just not being able to watch the TV. And no, not when the playoffs, when they drafted Matt Ryan.
Right.
Oh, wow.
He was in jail when they drafted Matt Ryan. He was like, you're sitting there watching them replace you. Like, you're literally viewing your replacement. And then your replacement goes to the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he still went and mentored the dude and talked to him. So, like, they have a great relationship. My point is, for the people who are willing to forgive Michael Vick, there are still places Michael Vick can go where he will be loved. There are people that will always hate him. And there's nothing he can do to change that.
True.
But he can still show up at an Applebee's and get a 2 for $20 without any problems.
Right.
I just love when, like, he's playing.
Ray Rice?
Yeah, Ray Rice is done.
Man, I mean, animal lovers and, animal abusers and woman abusers are neck and neck in terms of being social pariahs. But, for Ray Rice's dirt to be caught on camera, I feel like that's what really, unfortunately, did him in. And I think it sucks that domestic violence on camera is somehow, domestic violence that's off camera is somehow lessened.
Yeah.
It's all horrible.
Yeah, because the kicker for the Giants, he did it.
They got a boy right now, the Oklahoma running back, Mixon. All they do is debate, because all the Patriots came out and said, well, we won't draft this guy because he got caught on tape hitting a woman.
In the bar, right?
Yeah, McDonald's or some shit.
Yep.
Yeah, because his shit was on tape. You're going to make a statement about who you're not going to let on your team. Make a statement about all these other motherfuckers who did it, but there was no camera. But you won't make that statement, though.
Right,
so
right.
to say that people who do it off camera are somehow better, man, all that shit's horrible.
Right.
And it's all the same. And I don't think Ray Rice will ever get a second chance. So that's why, this is a long-ass answer, but I think Ray Rice got it the worst. At least Michael Vick got somebody to hug. Ray Lewis got a job, and Kaepernick's story is still being written.
Right. And I think also the other three, they all had a bigger presence in the sport than Ray Rice, too. Even though Ray Rice was a dope running back, I don't think he had the name or he had the endorsement that they did. Right. Right. He had the numbers. He
Ray
had
Rice was averaging 2 yards to carry when he hit that girl. Good statistic. If you're trying to beat an abuse charge, Ray Rice, you
gotta get your numbers up.
Gotta get them numbers.
Right.
7 yards to carry. You got to get out off the tackle, sit up the field a little bit. So I think I think the league is definitely more lenient towards better players and stuff like that. And there's a lot of that. We're cleaning up the image of the league. And well, we have a new domestic violence. You hit a woman once, we suspend you. You hit her
Some
again.
of them beat their wives. Like, that's crazy.
For the season, we're not playing around.
They be doing that stuff for the cameras, because some of them be beating on their wives.
Yeah.
Beating the shit out of them.
It's something that they really should take a better look at. Not to drift off the answer to the question, but I think because the treatment of women is so important now. Damn. Right. That's the one thing you always at least try to have as an entertainer, no matter what else. Like Michael Jackson still had black folks.
Right.
OJ still had black people.
Yeah, even now. There's still black people that fuck with Jews.
Right. Like OJ, that's all.
And all he do is make bad decisions.
Right.
That's all.
Yeah.
So Father Figure was a brilliant comedy special. Speaking of negative, we go to the positive. And you know, like I say, Father Figure was a good comedy special. Jay played it for us when we were riding up to Detroit. We were laughing our
That
ass
might have been
off.
our last comedy special we was going to ride. We didn't know.
We were laughing our ass off going to Detroit, man. But so you know, it was well received. But do you have any plans of doing any other specials?
Yeah, I want to do another one. I don't want. Seeing it now, I understand why it's so difficult. Like, all right, you take a cat like Louis C.K., who pretty much like clockwork, every 2 years or less, gives you a hot hour. Mm-hmm. But he sporadically does his television show during that time. And does like a web series, and like Louis on FX is winning awards, but it doesn't run on a regular broadcast schedule because the dude gets so into his writing and the creative side. And I get it now. It's hard to craft an hour. I mean, that hour for Father Figure was kind of easier to do because I'm 20 years in now, and that was my first hour, so I had plenty of shit to draw on. And all I did was sprinkle in, 30 or 40 minutes of stuff that was a little more of who I am now, along with some material that I've been pretty much crafting for the past 2 or 3 years. So I had plenty of time to craft that. Now, you got like a year, maybe 2, to put another hour out, while at the same time opening doors to all of the opportunities that having an hour affords you. So you have all of these other pots on the stove, and you're still trying to develop that fresh new hour concurrent with that. It's very difficult. And so I don't know when. I don't know, because I know where I'm feeling emotionally and wanting to talk more about myself, my life, my feelings, whereas Father Figure was more about the world around us. But, that's a matter of the joke writing process. And sometimes I can start at a punchline and work my way back. But more often than not, for me, it's, all right, what do I want to talk about? And then, okay, now how do I make that funny? So I have to reverse engineer and go, all right, here's the point I want to make. Like, I would love to do, I'm trying to do more material about health and wellness and race, but I got to do the research. So I got to watch the documentaries, I got to watch other specials, to see what's already out there about it, and then try and work my way back to trying to make it funny, because you also I don't want to come across as preachy.
Right.
And that's where you lose a lot of people, especially a black audience, because, black people don't want to be preached to. You can do that everywhere else. But if there's a way to hide the vitamin in the dog food, then I feel like that's a win. What I really want to do with my comedy is I feel like really anything memorable, there's a feeling attached to it. Like, laughter is cool. Like, all right, joke, laugh, blah, 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 blah. But the moments between the laughter, if I can figure out a way to touch you and really make you feel something, be it anger or sadness or regret, just any bevy of emotions, if I can figure out that and then yo-yo your ass back to a punchline, to me, that's good. That's what I want. And I didn't do anything near that with Father Figure. There's maybe 1 or 2 jokes where I was like, all right, I see what I'm trying. So this next one, I definitely want to go on that journey. And that requires me to be emotionally naked. Man, I got material about my pops that, like, where I got to talk to my mama first about, Mama, is it okay? Is it okay if I tell the story about the time you fought one of Daddy's side chicks?
You over it yet?
Okay, because it's important that I tell that story, because if I tell that story, then people will better understand why I regret not having more closer moments with my father, and now that I'm older, I'm having moments of hating him, but he's dead, and I can't reconcile those feelings, because what do you do when you love somebody and then you get older and you hate them and they already died on you? You see it? Like, that's... That's the nugget of it. Now, how the fuck do I make that funny? I don't know. But I know it starts with my mama whooping that chick's ass on our front porch.
Whoop that trick.
So the bigger point is about how do you reconcile anger with dead people? Like, that's, to me, that's real. That's something we all fucking deal with. We all got somebody dead or that ain't in our life no more that's still living, may as well be dead, that if you backtrack, you would play the situation differently.
No.
I don't know how, but I hope that answered your fucking question. I don't know when the next person.
So say they want to do a new Kings of Comedy, right?
Yeah.
All right, they want you a part of it. What other 3 comics would you want to be a part of it? Who's gonna open?
Ooh.
Who's gonna close? Who's gonna host? They would mesh together.
I can't be on no Kings of Comedy.
You can be on the Kings of Comedy.
No, I couldn't. What, up there talking about my dead daddy?
How about
Yeah, that's what they want to hear. Man, you ever miss your daddy after he dead, but then you get mad because he wasn't a good daddy? Ha 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 ha. Give me Corey Holcomb
Okay.
off the top. If we going new generation, man. Shit, man. I like Corey Holcomb. I rock with Bill Burr.
Yeah, Bill Burr.
I don't know if Bill Burr counts as a king of comedy. We doing strictly urban? What's the?
Just anybody that's funny.
Nobody paints a picture better than Lil Rel Howery. Nobody, nobody telling jokes today can set up a scene. Lil Rel will take 10 minutes to just set the scene and all the players involved, and then without even saying action, just roll into a hilarious exchange between them, crosstalk, and it's just, whew. You know, I like D. Ray Davis. Why am I just naming Chicago niggas?
So you named all of them from Chicago.
You know what's interesting about Chicago though? Like Chicago is one of those markets where no 2 comics are the same. Like I don't know how to explain it, but you can tell a Chicago comic when you see one, but they're not stylistically. You can't draw a lot of parallels. Like I could draw more parallels to New York style comics or Atlanta style or even Miami. There's just a certain style, there's a sound. It's no different than music. But with Chicago, I don't know. I can never put none of these motherfuckers are the same, man. But
That's
you could
good,
put them
though.
all together, and
That's
like you
good,
could
though.
put give me Deion Cole.
Yeah.
That's I think that's my.
No, that's what's up.
I guess you just call that the Chicago.
The Chicago Kings of Comedy.
You gotta let Corey Holcomb close it though.
that wouldn't be bad though. Like it should happen. Chicago needs to represent. So many.
We got so many here.
There's
though.
too many
It's a
comedians out here
lot.
for it not to be. For it not to be
It's
popping like that.
It's a lot of them, man. Like I remember I came here. God, this was years ago, bro. I don't know, 03, 04. D-Ray was hosting riddles. It was like 1 in the morning. And this one I used to still perform in suits. And the owner, I don't even remember who it was, but I got a guest set. I was supposed to have a guest set.
Right.
I'm supposed to drop in and do my little 7 minutes, get the fuck on. Unbeknownst to me is that there are 5 million comedians in Chicago.
What a guess that.
And I roll up, and D-Ray is hosting. JB Smooth is headlining. Damon Williams is in there somewhere doing a set as well. And D-Ray keeps coming out to the lobby and just picking the next comic. You come on, you next. You next. You come on. And I'm standing here like, motherfucker, didn't the owner tell you that I'm next and I'm supposed to be next? And I ended up never getting on because the show ran long. Everybody ran alike, and so it was too much time. But knowing what I know now, I should have never been my ass on that stage anyway. Because Chicago is one of those markets where if you are of this city, then you've earned the right to be on the stage. And just some dude passing through who ain't coming back anytime soon, or even trying to really be in the market on a regular basis, don't come in here and sample this shit. Take your ass on up to Milwaukee somewhere. You know, and so I understand that now, but because of that, that's why Chicago comics are so good, because they all get reps, they all get chances all over town.
Right.
And that's a rarity.
Right. Alright, we're gonna play a little game called 3 Words or Less. We're gonna name one thing, and you gotta describe it in 3 words or less. I'll go first. Donald Trump.
Asshole. hole.
Chicago.
Pizza, Cubs, women. Folks get mad when you say the Cubs.
I'm just looking at him like.
I don't know. Listen, that's what I like. I didn't know that in Chicago, liking the white team was like saying, yeah, you niggas deserve slavery. It's a Cubs hat. They ain't say shit about slavery. I'm not from here. I didn't know that I'm supposed to like the South Side. Like, I feel that I legitimately feel like I should put on a Sox hat the rest of the day.
You can wear a Blackhawks hat, and they don't give you no heat about it. But some with Cubs hat. Like
I saw Laurel. Laurel had a Cubs hat on one time. Y'all ain't say shit to Laurel. Well, primarily because y'all know he represents the South Side. But still, shit, y'all ain't say nothing to Laurel.
All right, Trevor Noah.
Intelligent, bright, and focused.
FAMU.
FAMU.
FAMU. My saving grace.
Okay. Kanye West.
Visionary.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Barack Obama.
Please come back.
You get the golden ticket like Willy Wonka gave you get the golden hit like Willy Wonka gave the golden ticket. You get to steal off one person. No questions asked. Who would it be?
Like, if I could just have one person's career?
No, just
No, you
knock
get to
somebody else.
knock somebody out.
Oh, steal on them. Like,
Yeah.
pop, pop.
Yeah. Show 'em where you from.
Yeah, bro, that's a tough one. See, everybody would say Donald Trump.
His phone gonna blow up when he leaves. What you say?
Say Mike Pence.
Like
Oh,
that.
damn.
Because that's who you getting after Trump.
Yeah.
Trump ain't calling no shots. Trump is just a puppet for all these other folks that really know
Looking
what
like
they're
a.
doing.
Ugh.
And once Trump get out there, then they're going to put Pence in, and Pence is going to play the game, and Pence is going to play the game well. So let's go on, break that jaw now.
So you can't have shit to say.
Yeah, go on, get on this liquid diet for
Can't have shit
6
to
weeks.
say.
So who's in your top 5? Your top 5 alive, dead, or hologram possibly?
Chris Rock, Doug Stanhope, George Carlin, Paul Mooney, Pryor for sure. But for me, you know, Sinbad, to me, Sinbad is extremely underrated in how he could paint a picture, and his act outs were so sudden. Like, there's a reason that brother can still sell 2,000 seats at the drop of a hat. It's because it's good ass jokes, man, and it's great storytelling.
And no profanity. It was crazy because he was funny without cursing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, going back to my Kings of Comedy,
Yeah.
fucking Tony Rock.
Tony
Jesus
Rock.
Christ, I gotta forget.
Think about that. So, what advice would you give to an up and coming comic?
Drive, get out of town. I mean, if you're on the coast, then stay in town and just grind and grow. But if you can, well, like my goal when I started, and I started in Tallahassee when I was still in school, and I was going up to Birmingham, but open mic was only once a month. Like most cities down south, like Atlanta was the only city that had a weekly open mic. Right. Atlanta and Tampa. Nowhere else within 5 or 6 hours of Tallahassee had a consistent open mic. So if I wanted to perform every week, I had to leave town. I had no choice because it's just, nigga, do you want to tell a joke this week? Well, then you got to drive to Memphis. Right. So go tell this joke. Or when I first started, I was on the Greyhound. Man, I'd hop the dog and go to Savannah, do an open mic, get booed, catch a ride back to the bus station, sleep in the bus station, and then head my ass back to class the next day. So, but the thing that I learned in being out of town constantly is that I feel like it made me more rounded as a joke writer. And I was able to write jokes that I didn't have to adjust as much for an urban crowd versus rednecks versus a mainstream audience, because you know, if you only perform and you only cater to one audience, then your jokes and the way you perform them become become slanted in a way that for me didn't work, because I had to be able to tell a joke. Like my first 9 years, I was down south. I didn't go to LA till like year 8 or 9.
Oh wow.
So if you're gonna tell a joke at Uptown in Atlanta, make sure it's the same joke that you can tell in Kentucky. And the only thing I generally had to do in urban audiences versus mainstream, like for black crowds, you can tell the joke louder or you can tell the joke faster. Can't do both. It tends to conflict. Like loud and fast just sounds like chaos. For me, and for my material, it was too chaotic. But for me, it was volume or tempo. Those were the two biggest adjustments. The same as if you're performing for old people. Like you used to do these casino gigs where they comping old folks on a Monday night. And literal oxygen tanks up front.
Man, that's
Talk slower,
tough.
talk softer.
Right.
Same joke. Never changed the syllable of the material, but you just changed the mannerisms, the body language. And so you learn how to perform your material a little better when you're telling it in front of an audience that you're not sure is going to like it. When you're telling a joke in front of a crowd that you know it's a home run, you get lazy in your performance style because you get comfortable. You know this joke is going to work. Y'all always love this joke, so da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
And you put your ass up in front of a bunch of folks and they judging you da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And that's how the joke should be told. So now when you go da-da-da and you take it back to the original audience where you were half-assing it, the joke goes from a 3-star to a 4-star bit.
Right.
Just off performance.
Right.
You didn't have to change anything in the bit. You just actually tried to perform it more. So I mean, I just think if you're a young comic, the biggest favor you could do yourself is just trying to do an open mic somewhere else. Just pick one city a month, a different city every month. That's all I did. Just go. This whole fucking job is an investment. So you got to pick your places to bet on yourself and take a loss. So find you $50 extra, go to that city, man. I used to go to cities, man. I used to work day labor. I used to work like daily work, daily pay. Like I drive into a city at 7:30 in the morning, sign up at Labor Ready or Labor Finders or whatever, and work some fuck ass construction job till 5:30, and then I would go to the Greyhound station, take a bath in the sink, wash my underarms, change my shirt.
So you was putting your balls in
No,
the
no, we ain't even washing balls. We just changing pants, y'all. I'm on stage, musty balls. I ain't in that bitch like Ron Jeremy, just got no pants on, just slanging wisdom dick.
Wisdom dick.
There's shortcuts. There's a ton of shortcuts in the system. You know, the biggest thing that newer comics I feel like need to focus on more than anything is web presence. That didn't matter as much when I started. It matters now, and it's something that I'm having to. I was close enough to it, thankfully, to where I'm not having to learn the process of it. But I know cats right now that just straight up don't know social media, don't fuck with social media, and I'm just like, nigga, your career is dying.
You have to.
Need
realize
to.
that.
You do.
Have to fucking connect with people in other ways, and even that's not guaranteed now.
Right.
So figuring out the sketches, figuring out a way to create a world for yourself, because just going to the comedy club every day for years and years and then waiting for Jesus to be in the crowd and put you on TV, that's only gonna get you so far. Shit, TV ain't no guaranteed fucking. I did Letterman in 07. All that did was get me a couple extra rooms in the Midwest. And that's no disrespect to Letterman. It just speaks to doing television in 07 and not 1997.
Right.
97, you rock a late night set. Some motherfucker standing off the side of the stage with a box of careers for you to choose from. Like, what do you want? Do you want sitcom? Do you want to host? Do you want cocaine addiction? Choose. Choose from the box. I did Letterman and I was in Peoria the next day slanging jokes next door to a strip club. That's the game though. So you have to create.
Was it that Big Al's? I used to work in Peoria. I used to work in Peoria.
Right across from the dirt track. Like it's hard to only focus on just performing. It's an unrealistic way of building a career now. How you get good as a performer, you go everywhere. But to build and promote and really grow and leapfrog, there's a web element in that still matters. You know, like I know, like that's why, like, oh my God, when these fucking old heads start attacking YouTubers and Instagram comedians, and that ain't no real comedy. They don't do no sketches. They selling tickets.
Yeah.
How many tickets you selling?
Right.
I saw DC Young Fly. This is a perfect example. I saw DC Young Fly, and this Ratchet People Meet. This is his Instagram account, and they did a show in Atlanta. They did like a Ratchet People Meet comedy. I don't remember the exact name of the show, but it was DC Young Fly and I think Emmanuel Hudson, one of the Hudson brothers was on the show. Carlos Miller was there, and it was just other people from popular Instagram sketches from the Ratchet People Meet channel. They sold 700, maybe 800 tickets.
Oh wow.
Damn.
On like a random weeknight in Atlanta. Paid, no comps, nigga. 25 to 45.
Damn.
Not no $12 ticket. 45 if you want to be close.
Right.
And that's power. That's self-starting. And they did that themselves. And if you one of these old head performers and you think there ain't nothing to be learned from that, you's a fucking fool.
Right.
You's a straight up fool. Because even if their performance isn't what you think it should be, but he ain't doing no comedy, he can't rip the stage like I can rip the stage. Yeah, but he can learn.
Right.
And when that
right.
nigga learn how to rip the stage the way you rip the stage, and he put that fan base with it, you're gonna be obsolete. And so they put on the show, and them people left satisfied. They did live sketch mixed in with their they just oscillated. One cat would do stand up. They do a couple. They did live versions of some of the sketches that the crowd already knew from Instagram, which is what they fucking wanted. It's goddamn brilliant. It's goddamn brilliant. I didn't go there to be entertained. I was like, let me see what the fuck this is. I can take notes and understand how to better bring together my brand and connect with my fan base. So, you know, study people that are doing stuff that you want to be doing at the level you want to be doing it as well. That's the other piece of advice. So I know that's all my answers been long as fuck.
Sounds cool. We're gonna put you in the hot seat.
Oh snap!
We're gonna ask you one or two things, but you gotta pick one. You gotta be quick. You ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Kerry Washington or Gabrielle Union?
Gabrielle Union.
L.A. or New York?
Wait, no. They both married. Fuck that. Picking between two married women is disrespectful. L.A.
Harlem Nights are coming to America.
Coming to America.
Red or purple Kool-Aid?
Purple.
Spades or dominoes?
Spades.
Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart?
Chappelle.
LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron.
Big booties or little booties?
Is it Billy? I'm being disrespectful. Big booties.
Prince or Michael Jackson?
Prince.
Jill Scott or Erykah Badu?
Jill Scott.
Danny Glover?
No. Erykah Badu. Erykah Badu is hilarious.
Danny Glover or Morgan Freeman?
Morgan Freeman.
Biggie or Tupac?
Pop.
De Niro or Pacino?
De Niro.
Rihanna or Nicki Minaj?
Give me Dej Loaf. Man, don't make me pick between.
You are officially out the hot seat.
Yeah. Watch me on The Daily Show. I'm on cable. Trevor Noah kicking ass, man. That's a good ass brother. Yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. How can people reach you?
Yeah, shit, man. Father Figure. Comedy special.
On iTunes. You know what I
Streaming.
noticed? They cut it. Like, it's only 45 minutes on cable, so get it on iTunes. You get the whole thing.
Yes, you get the full 60 minutes.
Oh.
You can watch that thing. You can stream it if you got Comedy Central.
He said
You
you
can
can watch
stream it.
that thing.
Yeah, stream it on the Comedy Central app. Also, pull up the Daily Show. Just Google on YouTube racism and porn. You might be able to catch a glimpse of
Ron Jeremy's
wisdom
And
dish.
his wisdom did.
Everybody to reach out to you is the best way.
My name is Roy Wood Jr., so just put an @ in front of it or put a .com behind it. It's all the same.